Hi everyone, welcome to Shell Sugar Rush. Welcome back if you've been here before. Today I'm going to be making this delicious banana pudding cheesecake. Cheesecake is actually one of my favorite things to make and eat. If you enjoy things like this, stick around and watch me make it. And don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notifications bell. So let's get into it. So for our crust, for our cheesecake, I've got 8 tablespoons of salted melted butter in the bowl here. And then I have about 2.5 to 2 3/4 cups of chopped up vanilla wafers, and which is what we're going to use for the crust. And then I have about 5 tablespoons of granulated sugar as well. So I am going to grab a spatula and going to add some of the wafers in here. And we'll probably use all of it, but we'll start there. And then I'm going to add the 5 tablespoons of granulated sugar as well. And just going to stir that around till we have those vanilla wafers to the consistency that we're looking for, which, you know, for our cheesecake bottom, it's going to be kind of a wet sand consistency. And I may have a little more than I need here, but you know, if that's the case, I'll probably make another one shortly as well. So no worries there. You can save it if you have extra left. You know, you can just put it in an airtight container in the refrigerator. Okay, so actually I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest in there, because we've got it pretty wet, so we've got room for more crackers or wafers. Okay, and that looks pretty saturated. So what I'm going to do is pour this into my springform pan. And we'll start with about that much here, and just kind of shimmy it around. And I'm going to grab a glass real quick. I like to use the bottom of a glass just to press everything down good. Okay, so I've got my glass, and I'm just going to press everything in real good. And I like to work it up the sides a little bit as well. I still have some, you can see some pretty big pieces of wafer in here, which is okay. Okay, and I am going to pop this into the oven. My oven is on 325 degrees. And I am going to pop this in the oven just for about 10 minutes, just to kind of help it solidify. It's personal preference. It's not a must that you do that, but I like to do that to kind of help it keep its shape. And then we'll start making our cheesecake batter. So for our banana cheesecake filling, I have went ahead and put 3 8-ounce blocks of cream cheese in here. And I am going to add to that 1 cup of granulated sugar and 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. It just gives it a little bit of stability. and one 3.4 ounce package of banana cream instant pudding. Just put all that in there, and then we're going to cream this up real good to break up that cream cheese. Okay, now while you're creaming this up, it's still going to feel pretty thick because you've got all that powder in there. But remember, it is very important too to have your ingredients at room temperature to help with the creaming process. So now that we've got that mixed up, we're going to add in our eggs, and I'm just going to mix this in on a low speed, one egg at a time. It's just really important that when you're mixing your cheesecake batter that you mix on the lowest speed possible, just because you don't want to incorporate a lot of air bubbles. This can lead to cracking in your cheesecake later. Our 1/4 cup of sour cream. And we'll mix that in real good. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and kind of scrape down the sides a little bit just to get this cream cheese off the sides and get it incorporated a little better. Okay. Now we're going to add in our bananas. So here I have 1 cup of smashed bananas, and I did smash up 3 bananas, and I just took 1 cup from that and reserved some for another cheesecake. Okay, and while I'm doing that, I'm also going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. And just going to eyeball that. All right, and we'll give this a little mix and see if our crust is cooled down, and we'll be ready to put this in the crust and put it in the oven. And I'm just gonna scrape down my sides once again and just fold this, make sure everything is incorporated really well. And this batter will look a little thicker than what you're probably used to with a cheesecake, but that's okay. All right, now I'm gonna get my crust and see if it's cooled down. Okay, so our crust is completely cooled. So we're gonna take our banana cheesecake filling and go ahead and put that in. This is gonna make a pretty hefty cheesecake, so. Now again, I have my oven on 325. And I'm gonna put this in there for about 1 hour and 20 minutes, give or take a few minutes. We'll kind of watch it and see how it goes. You want it to be pretty set, but you want the middle to be still a little jiggly, not set too hard. So also, if you've seen my videos with my cheesecakes before, you know I'm not really a fan of a water bath. I just don't like the idea of having to wrap my cheesecake in foil and put it inside something. So what I do is just take one of my jelly roll pans and fill it about halfway full with hot water, and then I actually put that on the bottom rack of my oven. So still provides that moisture while the cheesecake is cooking. Serves the same purpose to me as the water bath does. And you know, it's one of those things that's always worked fine for me, but you know, if you prefer a water bath, you certainly can do that. So I'm just leveling this out best possible. Here we go. All right. And now I'm going to pop it in that oven with the jelly roll sheet. And I'll show you here. This is what I'm referring to. I'm going to fill this about halfway with hot water and put it on that bottom rack of the oven. So we'll pop this in the oven and keep an eye on our time, and then I'll come back and show you how it comes out. Okay guys, so it's been in about 1 hour and 10 minutes, and I'm going to just jiggle this a little bit so you can see the center is not quite set, but the rest of the cheesecake is pretty set. So what I'm going to do now is turn the oven off and close this door and let it sit in the oven and kind of come down from that temperature at a slow pace. And then we'll come back and pull it out. Okay, so I let it sit in the oven for about 30 minutes with the door closed to let the temperature come down in the oven. And then I actually opened the door for about 20 minutes or so and just let it come down some more. And now it is just sitting out cooling, and it has settled. It is set, no jiggle, and we're going to let it cool down completely and then pop it in the fridge. Well, wrap it up and pop it in the fridge for a few hours, and then we'll put a little decoration on this tomorrow morning. So I will see you then. Okay, so our cheesecake is set and cooled, and actually it's been in the refrigerator overnight. So I'm gonna top this with some caramelized sugar, kind of like the top of a creme brulee. And I'm gonna just sprinkle a pretty generous layer of sugar all over the top. And I have my oven set to broil. It's on high broil. And what I'm gonna do is just pop this into the oven for about 1 to 3 minutes on that top shelf. You have to watch it real close because you just don't want to burn anything. But anyway, I'm gonna pop it in there for about 1 to 3 minutes, and then I'll bring it back and show you what the final top looks like. Okay everyone, so here's our finished banana cream cheesecake. Make sure you let me know what you think about it in the comments. And also, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you'll be notified when I upload more videos in the future. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you all next time.